back once again. Wait, we're not ready for that right now, but maybe when Teresa Young starts asking for requests, then perhaps the toilet will come out because there's still one that believes the rotations will happen to your altcoins. That's right. Your altcoin's going to go to the moon and beyond because they have to, guys. They have to. The whales have to buy them. It's the rules, okay? Don't ask me why. It's just the rules. First, the whales buy shit that actually, works, like gold, stocks, these sort of things, commodities. Then they go straight out and say, what's the best way to lose all this money that I just gained? Let's go buy some shit coins. That's a great idea. That's a fucking great idea. Let's go flush our money down the toilet. I love lighting it on fire because who the hell needs money at the end of the day? The money is the root of all evil, and I'm trying to be good right now. That's right. That's right. Let's be good and lose money together, my friends. Lose money together. We love losing money indeed. What's up, Mr. Caretaker? Don't be derping when you should be herping indeed. Yes, we are probably derping a lot just by looking at Bitcoin, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, Bitcoin, is setting up for a move here, and it's probably to the downside. The more and more that it stays below about 90, what is it, like 91, 92,000 bucks now, the more and more likely it is going to have a real shot to break down here. I mean, the monthly is in a very precarious place. We do see 1-2 rejections of that red 5 EMA, after basically living above it for the whole run to the upside. So coming back down below it is certainly a change of behavior that is not a good sign overall, and it does offer up the potential to actually have a real break here. It's not necessarily my disposition as of right now, but I do think that there is a chance, at least from range move back down to low 80s. And then if Bitcoin breaks, obviously. My personal opinion is that we aren't going to see a majorly nasty, super, like massive bear market that's going to emerge from here. But, is Bitcoin the thing right now? No, it's just not the thing. And that's okay. I mean, we have been the thing for many years, many cycles in the past. We're no longer the thing. We used to be legit. Now we're not legit. So we must quit. And that is why we are too legit to not quit. Wait. That doesn't make sense. You probably don't even know what the hell that's from because it's a random movie that I saw just the other night. I'm feeling pretty shitty this morning, to be honest with you, because I woke up at 1 a.m. I woke up at 1 a.m. and I made a grave mistake yesterday. I made an absolutely grave mistake. We were having a little bit of a family get together on Sunday at my place. My father very, very nicely and amazingly offered to get some barbecue for us all. And unfortunately, I ate some extremely fatty brisket like right before bed. Not the best combination. And so instead of digesting my food, I went to sleep and woke up at 1 a.m., had to digest. Felt absolutely terrible. If you don't know what it's like to have a shit ton of, fatty meat in your stomach that is, improperly digested and wake up in the middle of the night, you feel super nauseous. It's actually very uncomfortable. Took about 2 hours to settle and then I could go back to sleep. So running on fumes today, but that's okay because, we don't really need too much for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing what it's doing. However, the fun is being had in all other markets, basically. All other markets besides this one is where shit is going down. I mean, we saw commodities are doing their thing, small caps breaking out, and, the major indices like SPY, like NASDAQ, they're just continuing upwards and onwards as well in their nice higher low fashion. Let's go check out gold. Finally hit our $5,000 target, now well above. And this is exactly what I'm referring to. The last throws of a parabolic market are just the craziest. So were things ever going to stop at 5,000? Not for anything more than just a very short-term pullback. In this case, we're not even getting that. I mean, maybe you got it on like an hourly time frame. Yeah, I guess a little bit right there, but not much. But this one zooming past, just blowing out all of the genius shorters at 5,000. And, because this is probably the craziest time for gold, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see another 10% higher from here, maybe closer to 6,000 before we do see that inevitable massive blow off top. But for now, this is not the high. I don't think that we're seeing the high in January. Minimum would be February. But even then, I'd want to see a couple weeks in February before deciding. What I'm looking for on gold to call a high is something very simple here. It's a very simple methodology that you can apply almost across any asset class when it is a parabolic blow off top. And it is something like this. You're going to see a massive wick intra-week to the upside, and then before the week is over, you're going to see it crash back down somewhere around the open, maybe below the open, and then if it settles below there, at that point, yeah, I'm happy to call a major high on gold, but until then, just let the trend be your friend. It wants to go to the upside. It's in that crazy time. Think about Bitcoin in 2017. That is this sort of rally you're getting right now. If I could bring back Bitcoin to 2017, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm sure a lot of people remember this because a lot of people were, especially who are hanging on right now, were probably on this channel around this time too. And you can see in 2017, I mean, things just got absolutely fucking insane in just the last month. Literally just the last month, from middle of November to the highs in middle of December, things went up more than 240%, which is just, I mean, that is, it's mind fucking blowing. Now, I'm not saying gold's going to, like, 2-3x from here. No, but it is that sort of a move. It's that sort of a move in which you just go fucking vertical, and it's not wise to guess where the high is going to be. The best thing to do, in my experience, is, again, exactly what I just stated, and it is waiting for that clear and obvious reversal signal. Until that happens, you're just standing in front of a moving train, and that train is going to fucking wreck you from bunghole to mouth hole, and it is not going to be good. I've seen many people lose accounts trying to, short highs, just as many people, losing accounts as trying to buy bottoms, before things are confirmed. At the end of the day, you don't have to sell the ultimate high to make a good trade. You don't have to buy the ultimate low to make a good trade. You just need to get on the same side of the trend and have a high probability trade, which is what is going to make you a good trader, a profitable trader over time. Anything other than that, I've not found to be that useful in my experience. But yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, or should we go into Bitcoin right now? Do we want to go a little more into detail in traditional markets? Let's actually do traditional markets first, or maybe even go over silver here. Why not go over silver? Because silver is the one that's taken the real pole position now. We did say 110 very likely. Again, same thing here for, as gold. You're in that last parabolic move. Like, just let it fucking go up. This thing is really impressive. I mean, going from $70 to, 113, 114, all in the same month is an insane move for a very mature asset like this. And I do think that you're not going to see highs this month. Obviously, we're basically near the end of the month anyways, but, February probably is just going to be a general rally month as well. So this one, I mean, shit, man, you might see it, 125, to 150 maybe before it tops out. But right now, yeah, it's crazy. It's just what I'm looking for here is the exact same thing on gold. I want to see big intra-week new highs, then slim it back down before Friday's close. At that point, okay, maybe we have a major macro top to be aware of. But until then, this thing is going to do the most unthinkable of unthinkable things. But I mean, for fuck's sake, like, I don't know how much longer though. I mean, looking at the weekly volatility here, I mean, that is extremes times 10 more extremes. Monthly is already at 100 percentile as well. It could stay there for like another month or two, I suspect. But yeah, these things will come down. So I would say, probably around the end of this quarter, maybe a little bit before that, but that's kind of my time frame as of right now. And who knows how high price can go before then. Again, I'm looking for a specific response. Until then, just let the trend be your friend. If you're riding these things, congratulations. These are amazing trades. These are amazing investments in what is relatively short amount of time, especially for, silver and something like copper. Gold's been setting up for more of a long-term time. So, congratulations to the people who did hold on to their cojones there. But namely Peter Schiff, I guess. But I'll take another sippy sip of this caffeine. I desperately need it today. Clear out some more of them bowels, and then we'll get back into the price action analysis. We'll go over SPY futures, NASDAQ futures, maybe some other stonks as well. I found a good cold brew, actually. Usually I don't have cold brew. Cold brew usually tastes kind of weird to me, but I actually found a weirdly good cold brew is from, funnily enough, Starbucks. I want to hate on Starbucks because they're mainstream and I'm a hipster, but it's actually, look, I have their Americanos, a few times a week. It's pretty fucking good. Not going to lie. It's really, really good. Anyways, SPY futures over here. I did want to acknowledge that we are seeing the continuation of the higher low that we identified last week. You can see a beautiful retest of that green 55 EMA intraday here. And then most importantly, coming back above last Thursday and Friday's high. This is potential for a major, massive bullish engulfing dildo on hidden bullish divergence, reclaiming the daily RSI EMA, bouncing off of the midline as well. And the crown also is about to turn around here too. This one wants to go higher. This is not just a gap fill and back down. That would have been this move right here. But the intraday behavior here of reclaiming that past Friday high especially is significant. That really increases the probability that this one is just going to just continue trend. It's just going to continue to trend. And again, my general targets here to the upside are still 7,300, but I don't think that things necessarily have to stop there long term. Maybe just a short term kind of area of interest in February to March, something like that. Looking at NASDAQ, same shit over here, not as strong, but this one is looking like it's probably going to break out this week. Daily time frame has that same higher low. It's pretty much the same thing on the RSI right here. It's just not in as strong a position as it's not, at the top side of its range just yet. But it does look like it's going to finally follow through. It's just not leading the market right now. I'm still invested in techs. I'm still invested in triple Qs. haven't really sold off many positions there or anything like that, just sprinkling a little bit of sells here and there. But ultimately, I am still, majoritarily long, still about 85% long overall. And this thing, I wouldn't be surprised to see make new highs in February. This thing very much is setting up here with that next higher low on the weekly 21 EMA. It's fucking textbook on extremely low volatility on the weekly time frame. This one has basically been in consolidation since October. So, most techs have been in consolidation as well. Like the major one's been in consolidation since October as well. And basically you got two major lines of destiny here to be aware of. You got this one for your topside boundary. You got your rising, bottoms right here. Upon breaking out of that top line trajectory at $26,000, generally just looking for a move to evolve somewhere around 28-ish, somewhere around, that's $28,000, and again, same thing as SPY futures. Just because that's a target doesn't mean that things are going to go exactly there and then smash back down and that's your highs. No, it could reconsolidate and recontinue as well. It's completely fine, but overall still bullish here, and some really obvious and easy pivot points for these markets. For traditional markets, NASDAQ, last week's low is a major pivot. As long as you're above there, it's bullish, it's good, don't overthink it. If it comes back down below there, okay, yes, we have a greater correction in order, probably going back down to $24,000. Same thing with SPY futures. If it were to take out last week's low, I'd be looking for somewhere around this red circle of destiny. Maybe not destiny. I mean, only if it takes out last week's low. Maybe probably have to even adjust it a little bit lower towards 66 even or so. But overall, these things want higher. The risk is to the upside right now, not to the downside. And if there's going to be any sort of a rotational pull from gold when it inevitably tops, as silver will and copper and all of the others, these other things, do you think it's going to go into fucking cryptos? I do not understand this fucking hopium based in very loose levels of reality. It's like a ChatGPT inspired prompt. It's like, that's not this, it's this. That's not herp, it's derp. You're hallucinating, you motherfucker. Like, what do you mean? Why would first off, you could never even guess what someone's going to do anyways, because there's no way to know who these people are, what their preferences are, what they're going to be doing. But if I were to think through the lens of an average gold investor, what am I going to do? Go from gold coin to fucking rose coins to Litecoins? Ah, yes, buy Litecoins. It's a silver to Bitcoin's gold. So silver went up, so silver to Bitcoin gold, crypto silver. Okay, Litecoin has to go up, right? Right? Yeah, it's doing a parabolic upside move as we speak. Amazing. Yes, that's right. Like I said, everyone loves losing money, and the best way to do it is in the crypto casino, my friends. It's the absolute best way to do it. Everyone's dollars are going to get chopped, and y'all ain't even aware. I'll stay in depleting assets. Yes, so we should buy Litecoins. That's right. Litecoin is depleting asset. It's crypto, so that means good. Deflationary, also good. I'm going in there. Good. Great. Dollars are getting chopped. Absolutely. I agree with the premise. I do not agree with, I don't necessarily agree with the conclusion, but hey, that's why we have markets. We can disagree. You can go your way. I can go my way, and the market will tell all at the end of the day. I can be wrong. You can be wrong. Everyone can be wrong, and everyone will be wrong over a long enough period of time. Of course, it is what it is. But Litecoin, is that my play? Fuck no. Holy shit, fuck no. Wow. I feel retarded even acknowledging this. It's like asking, what is 2 + 2? It equals 5. That's right. I learned it in my gender studies class in 2020. It actually does work. That's exactly right. This chart also works as a straight up line chart. What do you know? While the dollar is losing value and this one's holding value versus the dollar over the past, 3-4 years, while everything else went parabolic and beyond, what does that actually mean? If I was holding my Litecoins, one Litecoin still equals one Litecoin. Therefore, I'm secured. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes. And $1 US equals $1 US, but your purchasing power is going down. And your purchasing power by holding Litecoin is going down monumentally. And most of these fucking cryptos. It's not, and even Bitcoin too. I mean, shit, even Bitcoin ain't doing too hot. We'll go over Bitcoin in detail here in just a moment. Hi, Intellect says Charlie Lee, who was the creator of Litecoin, in case you didn't know, literally recently said I don't know if this was recent, but I definitely know that he did say this. He wishes he didn't make Litecoin. Look, the value proposition of Litecoin was explained to me like 6, 7, 8 years ago as this. It is a good testnet for Bitcoin, because it has value, it is attractive for hackers, and therefore, if Bitcoin's going to, do some sort of an upgrade, they should do it on Litecoin first, because Litecoin can get hacked, and who gives a fuck about Litecoin? Because it's Derp coin. I mean, shit. Like, look at it. Like, fucking look. Use your goddamn eyes. Use your goddamn eyes. Holy shit! It's a flusher. It's a fucking flusher. Rosie had a little bit of diarrhea, actually. Poor little Rosie. Say a prayer for poor little Rosie. She needs you now. She needs you now. Anyways, going to Bitcoin. Bitcoin daily price action statistics, historical price action statistics, I should say, has hit the top side of the average daily range. That's 88,550. Did sell off on that. Again, same side of the current trend. That, could have been more of a holder, I guess, if you were to take the scalp short on this one. This one now in profit by what? By about $1,000 or almost $1,000. If I was taking that, I would probably close my hands with the money in it right now and run the other way. Again, these are only for intrabar, very short-term scalps. I would not hold any of these trades for certainly more than a day. But no, it'd actually have to be like literally less than a day, probably looking at a couple hours at most. But ultimately, if you're looking for that one, it's already happened. On the other side, if you are going to play out a move to the bottom side of the range, the bottom side of the average daily range, which I actually do think has a... Yeah, I do think that this could very well be hit this week. That would be about $85,000 or just below $85,000. So if we do see Bitcoin go down there intraday here, I would be looking for a small bounce on the first pass. But like I said, when you're trading against a trend on these short-term scalps, you really can't get aggressive against the trend. When you're on the same side of the trend, okay, fine. Yeah, if you want to do it, I guess that's up to you. It's not the worst time to do it. But on the other side, hell fucking no. Don't do it. As Elsa says, don't do it. Don't do it. And if we go over here to the daily Reverend Ribbons, what do you know? Bitcoin's still well below the midline. The midline has now come down from $92,000 when we looked at it on last Friday to $91,700. It's just follow the yellow brick road. As long as you're below there, just don't be bullish. The earliest bullish indication that we could potentially have for Bitcoin at this point is closing back above the midline on the Reverend Ribbons indicator, which is 91,700. I absolutely love this thing for just kind of getting my analysis on like one little indicator practice. It's quite nice. It also feels like, oh shit, I've been automated now and I'm worthless. It's all Reverend Ribbons now. But yeah, this one, again, as long as you're below there, have to be bearish. If you want the most obvious reversal point, however, for Bitcoin, it's still $98,000. Let's go back to the 5-day. This one also was a good indication of that rejection of the mid band right here. And technically your short-term target has not been hit just yet. That would be 83,350 on the lower end, by the way. And even also reasonable would actually be these dotted lines right here. Maybe get a wait down there. I still don't think we're going to get closures below the November's lows before, a little bit more sideways. At least that's my opinion right now. But like I said, I am not necessarily... I'm not like full on super bearish with Bitcoin, even though I acknowledge that there is downside here. I am, however, just not bullish. I'm not bullish, especially as long as Bitcoin is below 91,700. And to a greater extent, relative to my options positions right here, I'm just really not bullish as long as Bitcoin is below that lower high that we put in January, which was about $98,000 or just below there. This is my position right now. I'm still holding it. I will continue to hold it as long as Bitcoin is especially below $98,000. Above $98,000, I will buy. I will actually still lock in this profit if that does happen. But for now, I'm short the $100,000 calls 20 times, expiring February 13th. So that is just a mere almost 2 weeks away now, I think. Almost 2 weeks away. Yeah, so the premium on these should really start to collapse relatively soon. So it's possible that I do take a little bit off before the resolution is had, before the expiration is had. At the same time, I don't want to add another position. I don't want to take a short here, and I don't want to buy puts at the moment. In fact, let's go see what daily volatility looks like right now on the old coins here. Or sorry, not daily, but weekly. It actually is quite low. So it wouldn't be the worst time to do it, but I do think we're going to see this one settle once again on the lows, something like this. And if it comes back down around here again, at that point, I may consider buying some premium. I very rarely do this. It may be like once to twice a year will I ever even consider just buying naked premium. In general, I think it's a massive loser's game, but when you are right, you do kind of win big. Also of great importance here for Bitcoin is the weekly 21 versus 55 EMA. They are kissing right now. They may indeed cross, and they will inevitably cross as long as Bitcoin's especially below 96,000 bucks. I would guesstimate this is going to take about 2 weeks for this to happen if Bitcoin really doesn't make a move back above, especially like 93, 94, 95. Which is looking less and less likely. We can forecast what the price would need to be in order to force that cross at the end of this week. Let me just see right here, 5 versus 6. Okay, 5 versus 6. Yep. Actually, no, I don't want the lines. I want the numbers. Show me the numbers, baby. Yeah. So 21 versus 55. If you're going to get that cross this week, you'd have to close below 80,700, but that number will get lower after the end of this week. So this is starting to look more and more like a foregone conclusion. It is, and like I said, it is inevitable as long as Bitcoin's below, especially 96,000 bucks. Like, it will happen. It just might take 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, or maybe even 1 week. And the reason why I'm calling this one out is because anytime that we've seen this cross, it's just been bad. It's just been fucking bad. The last time we saw this cross was actually into the May 2022 bear market. From the actual cross happening to the next major low, that was 48% down on a wick basis. On a closing basis, 39.5% down. And that took only 42 days to happen. Pretty ugly. We do have this iteration right here, which did not work out well. So this was technically during a black swan, event. So I could argue you can't really trust moving averages or signals in general, on a lagging indicator during, of course, a black swan where things happen really, really quickly. But yes, there is an example of failing. It does happen. We don't really have a black swan going on right now. The time before that, of course, was 2018. You can see right here, this one crossing all the way in October of 2018. And from there, from that price to the next major low on a closing basis was about 49.25% over the course of 42 days. So within about a month and a half, or a little bit less than a month and a half, things had progressed to the downside significantly. And the time before that we actually had this one, let me go to log scale here. There we go. Happened right here. Let me just mark this off with my green vertical bar. Beautiful. This one did attempt a rally after that, to be fair. It did attempt a rally. Was ultimately rejected, but even from there to the next major closing low, that was 35% to the downside. That one did take longer in terms of dates. Sorry, this one took about 77 days. If we were to measure out to that 42 days, to make kind of like a standardized thing, it actually just retested that same low. So, it doesn't necessarily have to work exactly as the previous ones, but you get the idea. The idea would be this: when these cross, not good, just not good for a long-term time. And like I said, I think where I deviate from some people is that if Bitcoin truly is in a bear market right now, I just don't think it's going to be as long and as low as probably at least what I see a lot of people anticipating, which is like 35 to 40,000 bucks. I think you probably get like 60,000 bucks, maybe as low as like 50 to 55. But in these regions, I'm a buyer personally. I will be a buyer for long-term bags. Maybe not for a trade, maybe not for a swing trade just yet, but that would be about 54, 55% down from the highs. To me, that's certainly investable for the long term, and I'm happy to wait whatever it's going to be from there, like 5 years, 10 years. For me, that would be like a long term thing. And also for reference, if Bitcoin were to come down to 50,000 bucks, that would be about a 60% downside move from the current highs. Basically anything with a 5 handle or even a low 6 handle to me is going to be long term investable. Assuming that move even happens. But again, that's where I probably deviate from many people. Many people, from at least from what I see, are looking for very low prices, in my opinion, between 20 and 40. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's just certainly not my first target. I'll be investing before that for sure. Just maybe not the whole load. Anyways, a few more sippy sips of this good old. Very nice. Very, very nice. You still advising people to drink icy propyl alcohol? Wait, what? Crash Out Crown is a new nickname. Are you new here, sir? Are you new indeed? Yeah, it might be cringe, but at the end of the day, you're the one watching, my good man. You're the one watching. Why are you here? Who knows? I don't know. Just complain to the other of the world. That's the new fucking sport, probably for the youngins out there. The old youngins. The old youngins. But yeah, anyways, as far as this one goes, I am just going to be holding this. I don't really have any real positions or really decisions to be making as long as Bitcoin's especially below even that mid band on the daily for Rev and Ribbons at about 91,700. Even if above there, I'm not going to take an action until Bitcoin gets to 98. But, for this, my maximum profit is capped, to be fair. It actually is capped at 15,600. So I'm happy to let this one just expire worthless, and I'll reposition when I find another, setup that I'm a fan of. But for right now, that's really all that I got. I'm not looking to short this right now. I'm not looking to buy puts. I'm not looking to do anything like that, even though, it might end up being a very profitable idea. But for me, no, I would prefer to represent that sort of non-bullishness in a different way. I just find it easier to manage personally. Anyways, yeah, I think that we've gotten through pretty much everything on Bitcoin here that I want to get through. There's not really too many updates. Realistically, Bitcoin's just been in the same goddamn range for the past, 2.5, going on 3 months now. This was from back in middle of November. So we got 2.5 months. So yeah, by middle of February, we will have 3 months. And I don't know, Bitcoin usually doesn't like to spend more than, 2 to 3 months in one of these major consolidations. So I do think that we will get resolutions on this in February, very, very likely, probably for the first half of February, to be honest, man. Anyways, let's go see what we have over here for the old super chats. Elsa's already got them nice and organized on my other screen. A couple more moments while I take more sips of this caffeine. Like I said, I desperately need it today, very much so. All right, we got some metals for David Murphy. He's looking at copper. Okay, copper. Actually don't know the exact. Okay, yeah, it's XCU. Yeah, let's go right here. Copper spot. This one has not broken out yet, has it? It's knocking on the door. I do think that it's a formality. I do think that it will fall through to the upside, but technically speaking, it is. Or actually, sorry, I would. The greater formation has broken out. Certainly, the shorter term right here. Technically, you want to see it close above $6 officially. I think that you will get that at the end of this month. I do think that this one will continue to new highs. Like I said, in my opinion, this is more of a formality than anything. I don't think that this is going to reverse from here, but you do have a very obvious reversal point if it were to happen, and it is last week's low once again. Seems to pop up in many different trending assets right now. But overall, this thing, I do expect it to go higher this quarter. In fact, let's see what our Fibonacci extension would look like. Just getting some general areas of interest. I suppose the next one would be about 636. I don't think that thing stopped there. I do think that you will get at least to $7 and like 10 cents or 7-Eleven. Good, really good convenience store. Apparently it's in Asia as well too. Like all of the Thai people and all of the Southeast Asians, they know about 7-Eleven. I thought that was an American thing, but apparently it's not. I think it's actually an Asian thing, and then we just adopted it. But yeah, for some reason I have this implied target going all the way up to like 787 or almost $8. I don't know where that's coming from, but I do think it's very possible you will see a 7 handle this year or before the end of the first half of this year. Like overall, this is pretty good, and it's got the good narrative as well right now. You don't really have to be a genius to make money in these markets. You just got to find what the narrative is. You just got to find where the bull market is. The bull market is in metals. This one's got the narrative. It's not like the pole position on this narrative. It's not like the big bad winner. That would obviously be gold, and then to a similar to extent silver. But this thing, should get a similar sort of response, similar to like a mid cap shitcoin, right? It follows the rest of the market. It's not going to have the most impressive returns, but yeah, it gets to play as well when the when the music is going. Anyways, what else we got over here? David Murphy's back. He's looking at Amir Sports. Amir, okay, it's a new one as well. AS. Cool. Trades on nicey. Never heard about it before, but it's the first time for everything, I guess. Top side of the range. You could look at this as a higher low. You do have hidden bullish evidence. You do have low volatility. So the signals are there, but I don't know if I trust this one to break out from here, to be honest. I would be looking at the price action pivot. This one is accurately getting exactly both the top side and the bottom side of the current range that I would be really intent on. If it can close above 39.90, I think that you break out to new highs and just carry on with this trend. It's a very nice trend. By the same token, if you do come back down below 36.25, close a weekly below there, then I think you got a greater correction down to about $33 or so. Momentum oscillators do favor the upside right now. I just don't know how much I personally trust it. But, you do have a good history, at least of going up for the history that you do have. I mean, it's only been around for about a couple of years almost now, but at least it goes up. It goes up in bull markets. So that's a good sign. I'm just not convinced that it's going to bust through right here. So I would personally be waiting for a closure above 39.90. But I'm kind of hesitant because I think you might get one of these. You test in there, you reject, you come back down for a beautiful higher low right here, and then try the upside move. So it'll very likely be one or the other, where it just tests there and breaks through or comes all the way back down. I think there's opportunities on both sides. I'm a little bit more biased towards this one coming back down and getting rejected here, but that's just an opinion. I'd just be very intent on looking at this area right here. Closing above there is going to send this thing to undoubtedly new highs, and probably some pretty powerful new highs too. I mean, traditional markets is zooming right now in general. Anyways, Pizza is here. Oh God, he's looking at Litecoin. Oh fuck. Blink twice blink twice if you're a holder. I mean, we can look at it daily, weekly, monthly. It's just bad, and worse, basically. I think my LARP lines are kind of directionally correct here still, or maybe not this part where like it curls back up. I don't know if it's going to do that or not, but I do think you're generally going to the bottom side of the range. It's getting a bounce off of the pride sector pivot right here. At least that's how I'd kind of consider it as of right now. But I don't think that this thing's going to put in a bottom here. I think that you will continue to go sideways and a little bit lower and then try for a bigger bounce. So, maybe it looks something like this overall. I think it's just going to get drug out. Overall, it's just, it's just a loser. It's just a massive fucking loser. While everything else in their mother was rallying to new all-time highs and beyond in this current market cycle for really the past 3 years since 2023, what has Litecoin done? Nothing. Fucking nothing. This is pathetic. It's a pathetic thing long term. Now, if you're short term and you're just looking for a trade, I mean, I still think that there's, infinitely better things to be trading, but I don't know. You might have a very short-term bounce attempt right here. You do have some bullish divergence, Yeah, a little bit is present right there. So maybe a rally up to like $72.50 first, then top out, come back down, try to set in like a major low, a little bit lower. I don't think you're really going to break below these current like macro lows here, which is about $48 anytime soon. I think that you just might base there a couple more times, probably bounce off there a couple more times as well. Perhaps good for, some swing trading, but I don't know, man. I just think that there's much better opportunities abound in, well, especially other markets, but even in crypto markets. I mean, shit, man. Hopefully no one's putting a gun to your head and forcing you to trade this thing. I will pin your message. What's up, John, dude? How you doing, man? I see you over there. One moment, pinning Elsa's message. Moving from morning, I thought you said moving from Canada, Gwinto. Can you check CGY? Well, I guess I just read it, so... Well, let's go really quickly here on TSX, the Canadian Shitcoin Exchange. Good. It's very good. Well, that was at least a daily, weekly. I think that you're finding a high relatively soon, somewhere around the tops from here, $70, let's say. Yeah, probably trade a little bit higher, then pull back. Overall, good. I think that this low right here is going to be a macro low for a long time. Do I think it's going to do that? Maybe not, but perhaps something like that. So yeah, pretty good run though so far. Anyways, we got straight path next. He's looking at CLSK clean derp. We've looked at this one a lot in the past. I kind of forget it. Oh yeah, it's one of these charts. Another sideways only chart. I still think the same thing here, man. It's kind of doing about what we expected it to do. The LARP lines called a rejection right here. I think you're coming back down now. I think this this is going to very likely work out as a lower high, especially if you do come back down below last week's low. At that point, looking for another move back down somewhere between the 200 simple at 890 to the price action pivot here at $9 or about $10. So I do think that is your next move. Not really anything to be bullish about this thing until you're back of about $15.50. That is the major pivot here. But I'm also not like super bearish on it. Just think that you come back down to the range low, probably bounce there again. I think it's going to be sideways, kind of like a Litecoin-esque type thing. A lot of sideways here, shaking out itself. Not any crazy moves to the upside or the downside. In my opinion, a dead investment if you're looking at this one for the long term. Again, just personal opinion there. But yeah, I generally think that the LARP lines will be something like this. Probably takes most of this year in the same range. So probably better opportunities abound elsewhere. 1236N says USAR. What's this one? USAR, US rare earth. Ah, yes, another great narrative. If you recall on my portfolio video, we did call out an ETF for rare earths. It was REMX. That one has been up about 3x since we called that one out. This thing, obviously a part of that narrative, obviously doing incredibly well as well. And I do think that this thing probably trades higher from here. It's not really got a ton of history, to be fair. You know, it goes back to 2023, which is very light for traditional markets. And technically, if you're going off of ranges and whatnot, you know, this is kind of where you would expect it tops out of a range in the interim. You know, in the short term, does it come back down somewhere around that red 5 EMA at like $22 or 23.5 or whatever? Probably yes. I don't think you're going to zoom to new highs exactly from here, but I'm not bearish on it. You know, comes down and corrects a little bit. If it sets on a higher low there and rallies back up towards this number, I would be expecting a breakout on that pass, not necessarily on this pass right here. But overall, it's set up. I think long term, you will very naturally break through there and continue upwards and onwards. I think that happens, you know, first half of this year. Overall, good. Overall, quite good. Anyways, we got Steven Schickman. What's up, man? I was worried there for a moment. We have Zeta on Nicey. Been looking at this one quite a bit recently, and it did indeed put in a kind of a shallow lower high right there. It's like, I'm not bearish on it. I just don't think it's ready right now. But I'm not like full on bearish on it. I think short term, you come back down, you know, $20 and a quarter, something like that. As long as you're above last week's low, though, it's still okay. It's still in a good position. I just think it's going to trade more sideways for longer before it tries, you know, that real upside move. If I'm looking at the quarterly right here, maybe not as good. You know, I guess could have a bit of downside overall, but I wouldn't be getting like super bearish on it. I think worst case scenario to the downside, you come back down to like 17 and a half. But you know, later this year, I don't know, closer to the end of this quarter, maybe more like second quarter, I would be expecting another try to the upside. But for right now, you know, little bit of sideways, little bit of down. It's kind of how I'd be looking at this one at the moment. Other than that, don't really have any new opinions on this thing. It's just, you know, maybe corrects a little bit more, basically. MSTZ as well. Okay, MSTZ, the 2x inverse MicroStrategy. Man, this one is this one's quite hard. Would be quite hard to trade. I mean, fuck, man. It did come down to the 55, and it did bounce there. It will be objectively bullish if it does pop back up above $15 and close a daily there. But technically, before that happens, my LARP lines are still the more likely thing to happen. It's just you wouldn't expect it to spend this much time going sideways here and break down. The more sideways it goes here, the better, as long as you're above last Friday's low. And it's starting to look more and more like that. But technically, as long as you're below last Wednesday's high, which is $15, it should be bearish. Just, you know, 1, 2, now 3 days without truly breaking down, and more importantly, put in a higher low at the 55. I mean, objectively, that is setting up for another move back to 16 and a half, something like that. I'm curious to see what MicroStrategy looks like though, because these things don't always look like one-to-one. Yeah, this one wants to come back down to the bottom side of the range. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's the right way to be going. Yeah, this is an infinitely easier chart to read right now. I'm looking for daily RSI to get back down to like, you know, low 30s. You know, we'll put in some bullish divergence at that point, but you know, price could be down specifically on that 200 simple on the weekly. I still don't think you're going to, you know, deviate significantly from there without a bigger bounce at some point above $200. You know, but that could be one more run at like 140, 145, then bounce. But yeah, short term, I would have to remain in a bearish bias here. Short term, sideways and down, probably going to make a new low here, to be honest with you. The daily RSIs, the TEL, and the daily crown also are turning down simultaneously. Like, this is not, I mean, it's straight up just not good. just bad. Just bad. Really fucking bad. Man, that's got to suck for Sailor. Holy shit. Well, I don't know. Wait, what? I think he'll be, I mean, he'll still be a billionaire no matter what. You know, even if his MicroStrategy fails spectacularly, he'll still be a billionaire. So I guess it doesn't really matter that much for him, but you're going to have a lot of angry people, I guess, at that point. I don't know, man. Shit. At what point do they start to really go into pressure when it comes to Bitcoin's price and their holdings? I think around mid 70s. Now, don't quote me because I may well be wrong on this, but I think around mid 70s is their cost basis for their Bitcoin holdings. Going below there would be very nasty. It's interesting though. You would expect the MicroStrategy, Bitcoin bond offerings, because that really is what they are, like STRF, STRK, STRD, to really be dumping hard if people think that their debt is not going to be, good, especially STRD. This one is the lowest grade, I believe. Yeah, it's also trading the lowest as well, but it's not really truly breaking down here. Although this does look ugly and it does look like it certainly wants to. that much is for fucking sure. Yeah, fair enough. STRF I do hold, I should say, and also STRK to a lesser extent, but STRF I do hold. It is preferred stock, so you do have some protections there, and I think they are capitalized well enough to survive at least a couple of years. Even if Bitcoin fails spectacularly, but damn man, I think they're gonna be tested this year. That would be your next black swan, I guess. It's not much of a black swan though, if I can guess it. I mean, I'm just some random fucking derp. Oh man. Micro always loves buying the tops. I mean, that is their stated goal, to be fair. They are just a buyer. They don't care what price they're buying at. They're just a buyer. Fair enough. It's a strategy. It's not my preferred strategy, but it's a micro strategy, I guess. Maybe not the best strategy. Fatty Yoshi's 2 ETH. Wait, what? Fatty Yoshi's.eth. How long and how, or in all capitals, how long and how high you think silver can run? This is once in a lifetime run. Look what you did, man. You scared Rosie. I blame Fatty Yoshi's. Fatty Yoshi's. Yes. Yeah. Like I said, this is not the time. You don't guess highs on these things. That's not wise. You wait for the obvious reversal. I think it's going to get crazier. I think at this point, you're going to see a 120 handle at least. Maybe it settles somewhere between like 130 to 150. But I'm not calling tops before I see what I want to see. All I'm saying is that we probably are expecting a top in the next month or two. I think maybe like after the midpoint of February, you're probably in a jeopardy zone. March becomes infinitely more likely. I mean, seeing extremes like this on weekly and monthly BBWP, they just don't last that long. Monthly time frame over here, when it ran in 2020, stayed at extremes for 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Over here, just 1 bar, 1 bar. Over here, 3 bars. Over here, 4, 5 bars. Over here, 4 bars. Even going back all the way to 1980 when it had a major run as well. 4 bars, 5 bars right there, another 4 bars right there, 4 lot. I don't think it's going to last that much longer, man, in terms of months. Maybe another month or two, but I would very much be on the trigger finger. Like I said, what I'm looking for, big intra-week spike higher, then by end of week, Friday, close it around the open or a little bit lower. It's going to be obvious when it happens. You're going to see like an intra-week move of like 5 to 10%. It's going to be crazy. I mean, hold on. How big is this week's move already? Let's see. What would even be crazy for this thing at this point? It's already up. Oh God, yeah, it's already up almost 10%. So yeah, it's probably gonna be like a 10 to 20%, week, and then smash it back down before end of week, for almost no gain. When you see something like that, okay, yeah, we probably have a high. Until then, just let it do the crazy part, because you're basically replaying another end of 2017 type run that you saw for Bitcoin, but just in silvers. It's not this, it's that. That's not bearish, it's bullish. Felicia says AGQ stock, any pullback within the next month? Do I own this one? No, I own AIQ. AGQ. Oh, this is a silver ETF. Any pullback within the next month? I mean, you have a major gap up here. I mean, this is end of cycle type stuff right now for sure. But I think that this one's going to go higher. I think that you see like a 450, maybe even as much as $500 number. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but I actually do. I actually do think that you will see, mid fours to maybe as much as $500 and then a big pullback. I don't know. Does that happen in the next month? I don't know. I don't know. I think it happens before the end of this quarter, but the timing aspect of that very, very difficult for something like this. Tommy Dickinson says, NA key, NA key. Is that even a? It's not even a letter. Jeez, man, I'm really losing it. Overall, very bad, but does it retest this high over here at like 330? Maybe. Let's go down to a weekly. Yeah, I think that you got higher on this current run. This is objectively okay here, especially as long as you're above last week's low. Very obvious pivot at about 190. So as long as you're above there, I'm bullish. Weekly RSI is conducive to bullishness. Monthly, it's at a precarious place, yes, but I am inclined to say you're probably going to trade up to like $3 plus. From there, I don't know, but don't need to know. Just be looking for, this one wants to go up here, man. This is good. This is good. This is very constructive. Retest is high at $3, probably go to like 3.5 or something like that and come back to it after that. Wouldn't look out too much farther than that. Chris Vella is looking at RR. Yeah, so this one I do own. Yeah, this one I do own. Yeah. I did buy it for lower. I should address as well. Long term, am I bullish on this still? I really wanted to see the monthly close above December's high. That would validate my bullishness, but in this case, I would still give it a chance if it finishes this month, January, which ends basically at the end of this week. Yeah, this is going to be the last trading day on Friday for the month of January. If it finishes above the red 5 EMA at about 362, 363 region, I'd still give it a chance and have a bullish bias coming into February, but for right now, it's not giving me like the obvious look on this one. The obvious one, again, would be back above the December highs, which was 483. Until then, it's still in a good position. I'm still holding it, just again, for full disclosure, that is what I'm actually doing. I wouldn't get super bearish on it until it's back down below $3, but it's kind of like around where I bought it as well, just to, give you an idea of my cost basis there. But in the short term, do I expect it to come down a little bit more? Yeah, I do. But I'm looking at this as a range as of right now. I'm looking at this as range highs right here. Range lows are coming in on a rising bottom schedule with that 200 simple, which is around about 320 or so. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one dip down a little bit lower, try for a higher low somewhere around here in like the mid to low threes, and then try that move to the upside. Again, below $3, I am bearish, but until then, I give it a chance and I still do hold. Not a tremendously massive position, but it is a position nonetheless. Anyways, Dr. Colossus 499 says, hey, Crank, can you check out Borg versus the dollar? Sure. Let's see what Borg coin is doing. My Borg coins, my Swiss Borg coins. Swiss Borg coins. Ah, great. Yes, going down and down and down. Fucking again. Yeah, man. It's great. Really good chart. I mean, look, you're going to get some bounces along the way, but I do think ultimately you will find your way back down to like the 2023 lows at 14, 15 cents or so. But bounces along the way, I mean, might even bounce in the short term here, could easily bounce up to like 25 cents and then come down, or, maybe bounce a little bit higher, but overall this thing wants to come down. If I'm looking at it over the long term, it wants to come more and more down, my good man. This is not good what you saw in the fourth quarter of 2025. That is in no way, shape, or form in any fucking universe bullish. Not a single fucking universe. You know how there's like infinite universes, and so anything that has like more than a 0% probability is technically possible. It's not. No, okay, obviously I can't say that, but I would generally be looking for this thing to come back down to the 2023 lows with bounces along the way. That's basically my take on this one, man. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you, man. You're looking at the Thai bot. Okay, cool. I'm guessing you're still living over there in Thailand. It sounds like you really loved it, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Weekly and monthly. Got it. Okay. Let's go high, maybe even to a quarterly first, in fact. Yeah, even Thailand is kicking our ass in terms of currencies. Well, not over the long run, but it's okay. This is getting very annoying with this chart. All right, let's do it like this. Okay, so that's the chart. I'll do the dreaded diagonal trend line here, which I probably shouldn't do, but it did catch these couple highs right here, so perhaps there is some validity to it. In this case, probably does rally up a little bit more, but I'd be looking for lower highs somewhere around here. That is for the past more than 10 years has kind of been where you've been finding your highs. And it is a downtrend objectively, lower highs and lower lows along the way. So I have to be biased towards looking for a lower high. Somewhere around there would make a lot of sense. If you start to trade back above, 336, Okay, big fucking problems. No, it's a big fucking breakout is what it is. But until then, I'm probably looking for a high. Either maybe you already saw it, or maybe it goes a little bit higher. But in this zone right here, yeah, I'm looking for major highs, and then dollar should probably take over again for a little bit at least. One moment. Oh yeah. What's up, Bluffy? Miss Murdova is looking for short-term Monero bounce. Did we see it already? Well, I haven't looked at Monero since last week, so let's see. Wow, holy shit, fuck. Talk about a monumental fucking failure right there. Jesus Christ, man. Even when the altcoins do well, they don't do well. By the way, if you see something like this on gold or silver, that would also be a very strong signal. Look, getting rejected right before the end of the closure of the month, right below the exact level you'd be looking at for, a major high here, which is exactly 469.5. Or sorry, that would be the breakout level is what I'm trying to say. It's not a great sign. Obviously, you probably know this. Weekly time frame, massive shooting star dildo with continuation below the red 5 EMA after that. I mean, it's lost a trending moving average and it has a confirmed reversal there. Personally, and again, based off of what what we typically see most of these shitcoins do, I guess I'd have to be looking at this confirmed rejection. Very likely going to retest somewhere down around about 410, 415. I think that's where your bounce is, Lutfi. I think that's where your short-term bounce is, to be honest with you. Daily time from over here, it might try here, but I wouldn't like this one right here. I just don't think it's as obvious of a play. And when I'm looking for those counter trend plays, I want to see a super obvious thing. For me, the yellow 21 EMA on the weekly is a much more powerful thing for, a potential decent bounce off of a, catastrophic fuck up like this. So that's how I personally look at it. Yeah, that's where I'd want to play a bounce if I'm going to play a bounce at all. But, even then, this thing, it probably does fail. So it's like, how greedy can you get on a bounce? Maybe like from 400 all the way to like 440, 450. I mean, that is a 10% move. It's not that bad, but it's not looking great right there. Just my opinion. Anyways, Batman86 says, hey, Crown, VRT update, Vertiv stock. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember this one from last week. Overall, pretty good. I think this thing is setting up for another breakout to new all-time highs. Is it ready right now? Kind of similar to some of the other charts. I just don't think it's ready right now. I think that at least you're going to come down to like 177.5, 178 this week, intra-week. Maybe try for a bounce there. But, that is a reject. So the dominant trend is to the upside, obviously, but the sort of, I guess, would you call it a micro trend, whatever, is down right here. You got lower high, lower high, lower high, same low, technically a higher low right there. But I do think you probably come back down, put in another higher low, then retest this high. And at that point, I'd be very bullish for like timing a breakout. And I do think that over time, you will fall through to new highs. This is actually quite good. I mean, it's very constructive long term. But short term, I don't think it's ready like at this exact moment, at this exact week. Happy to be wrong on that, but short term, I think it comes down a little bit, 177, 178. That's my like most optimistic area for the next major low. And then try another move to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised if it did come a little bit lower to like 170, but as long as you are above that 159 low right here from early January, it is objectively long-term bullish. It's just what sort of format does it take? Does it, play another correction, then try the move? Does it just go from here? Probably not. Does it go a little bit lower and then try? Maybe. A lot of twists and turns that this can take, but that would be my like major bias pivot. Again, that low from early January at about 160. Or was it 160? Sorry. About 159 actually. Okay, cool. All right, who else we got? We got MG76067. He's looking at AGQ, daily, weekly, let it ride with silver. Did we just look at this? Was this yeah, we did just look at this. Yeah, I mean, obviously going to play hand in hand with silver. So whatever silver is going to do, which is probably the easier chart to analysize, I'd be looking to be replicated over here. I'm still bullish. Just, you're seeing real cracks in this rally now. Some point, you're almost undoubtedly going to fill this, this gap. like probably quite quickly after it does top out. And then, you know, at some point, even this gap here at $200 long term probably does get hit. But yeah, do I think it goes a little bit higher before that? Probably, yeah. I mean, 450 to $500 is kind of where I'd be bookmarking in my mind is like major areas of interest. And from there, it's like really not that much left in this thing before like a major correction, I'd imagine. I mean, this thing's gone up just this month more than 128%. I mean, that's big. That's really fucking big. What's up, Mr. Escobar? Good morning to you as well, man. Can you do DNN weekly? Sure. I'm loving that we just do so much, you know, real markets now. It's really good. Overall good. And this one actually does have a real potential macro reversal in order here. Oops. Let me go off of this one right here. It has not reversed just yet, but you do have the major signals of a reversal. You got higher low, higher low, higher low. You're popping back up to the range highs. I would actually have a bias on this breaking out to the upside. Not this month, but, you know, probably tested this quarter at like 430, probably pulls back, you know, second quarter, and then maybe third quarter, this one tries, you know, a real breakout, and, you know, perhaps you see like a 6, 7, 8, you know, maybe even $10 number on this thing. But for now, I think that you've seen a very strong portion of this move. Maybe it goes a little bit more towards about 4.25, 430, then comes back down, and then I'll be looking for a consolidation and then a real try to the upside. I'd be bullish on this though, overall, as long as you're above, let's just say this month's low. Pretty easy pivot. Technically, it would actually be the price action pivot here at about 220. It's a little bit further down, but yeah. So if I'm drawing out my LARP lines, something like this, boom, I don't know, it comes down, spends some time consolidating, and then maybe tries a move, something like that. Just think it's going to take some time. Critin B7 says, has a Dixie possibly breaking the 2008 to 2026 channel it's been in? I don't know. I also don't know if it matters that much, to be honest with you, but let's see. 2008. Okay, so let's see. Where is 2008? Back here. All right, first off, I challenge the assumption that this is even a channel, because if you are looking at 2008 as your channel, well, where's your lows? I mean, I don't see, I just challenge the assumption this is not even a channel. This is just fucking chart spaghetti art. We're just drawing lines at this point. Just bullshit. No, I don't think that it is. I don't even think it's a channel to begin with, but am I bearish on this? I mean, yes, I'm bearish on this. Yes. Yeah. I think the tell is right here on the quarterly. The quarterly from the fourth quarter of 2025 was a pretty nasty rejection. If this thing wants to break down, it should get its chance next quarter of this year. It is coming off of the 200 simple, so kind of a hard one to break on the first pass, but it already had a first pass. So I guess there is real potential that it does break later on. But yeah, I don't know. Give it at least one more chance to bounce, I suppose, first. If it does break down, I guess next obvious target is going to be like 92, 93 bucks, somewhere in that pocket there. It's not going to be very good. Go with Boris says, I've been missing. All good, man. All good. Regards from Paraguay. Hell yeah, man. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself over there. We're still young into the stream, but probably gonna be a bit of a shorter stream. We got to take Rosie to the vet today for a normal checkup. Teresa says, Golden Silver has so many articles to print. Huge gold deposit found in Africa. Greenland newly found deposit or largest found deposit of silver on record. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we don't know what we don't know, obviously. I mean, shit, there might be a fucking asteroid out there that's full of gold and Elon somehow figures out a way to mine it. Maybe alchemy becomes a real thing and they can transmute gold, which they already can. It's just it costs more than actually just mining gold, so it's not really profitable, but you know, technology advances. So at some point they'll be able to do that, you know? So to me, long-term gold does not actually make sense because at some point the sciences will get so advanced that they will be able to replicate gold for, you know, a minimum price, a very small price. And that'll just be flooding the market with gold. And at that point, supply and demand. So you got real problems there. But I mean, shit, that might be fucking 100 years down the road. Who knows? You know, it could be a long time. John Yu says, good day, Crown. What's up, man? Can you please give me your opinion on S32 mining stock on the ASX? Sure. All right. Some more Australian shitcoins over here. Sal 32. Not bad. Not bad. I look at this as a macro high or low here on the monthly. I think that this one's going to, retest around, I don't know, 480 to $5. Maybe even makes new highs longer term. But yeah, general short-term upside at least over the next, I don't know, two months or so. Probably back around here. Come back to it after that. I'd love to share your TA with friends and family, but something at 41.37. Fair enough, man. I understand. You don't have to do that. It's all good. Anyways, Mr. Manny says, yo, bro, you need to understand what Basel 3 is. Then you will understand the gold price. Everyone I know who does price analysis has no clue what Basel 3 is. I mean, you don't need to know what that is in order to know it's going up, sir. So I don't know, take your fucking, take your asinine fucking assumption and go fuck yourself. Truth TV says, morning, SoFi on the weekly and daily. Sure. Let's check it out. SoFi Technologies. We've looked at this one quite a few times, but yes. Okay. So this one is topping out here. You have a couple lower highs and same lows on the weekly time frame. So I do think that this one is maturing to a shallow breakdown, probably somewhere between like 23.5 on the lower end on the higher end to about 22 on the lower end. But yeah, I do think that you're putting in a high here. I do think that you're going to play out some downside moves. Long term, am I bearish on this? No, but I think you just had an amazing move to the upside. You're topping out now. Maybe you come down here and put in a higher low and then try another move to the upside, something like that. But I think you're done going to the upside for a while here. And daily time frame, weekly time frame, both of these want to come down to the low 20s, at least in my opinion. Let's see. Steve Calais says BTU, Peabody Energy, weekly, monthly. Gotcha. Okay, BTU. Sure. All right. Another one that's putting in a top on the daily, but that's not what you're asking about. You're asking about a weekly and a monthly. I actually do like this area for a local high on the weekly. I'm not necessarily bearish on it long term. I just think that you got a local high here. You come down, I don't know, maybe comes down to like $32, $33, puts in a higher low, then tries another rally. Monthly is still overall good. I just think that you're in a pullback phase, set in a higher low somewhere around those numbers, and then try again to the upside. But done to the upside for right now. Short term sideways and down, then try your move to the upside. Daily time frame, very obviously a top, very obviously bearish divergence, very obviously wants to come back down. First target, $34.5. Second target, maybe like 31.5. I think you do get down to a second target there. I think it does go a little bit lower. He's thinking the Trump administration will reprice the ounce of gold to better reflect its current value. I mean, shit, the U.S. government has done that before, actually multiple times. They did it in the 1930s, and then they did it again in, I think, 1970s, something like that. Maybe it was the 1980s. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, it is something that the U.S. government has done before, and it's possible. I mean, shit, man. Anything's possible, right? But that is very much possible because we do have a precedent for that. And, right now is a time where crazy things monetarily are happening. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to do. If they want to do that, then do that, I guess. 86 in some, what is that? Is that Indian or is that Thai, or I don't know what language that is, but can you update us on what Bitcoin is doing? I mean, my update on Bitcoin can basically be summarized down to this chart right here. I'm bearish, or just mostly not bullish, as long as Bitcoin's below 91,700. I think Bitcoin's poised to kind of come back down around 83 to 80,000 bucks, probably this week, maybe next week. Do I think Bitcoin's going to break down further from there? Not without another bounce attempt first, but depending upon how high that bounce goes, that could make me very, very bearish in February. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not looking for a breakdown right exactly now. I'm looking for just a move to the bottom side of the range, somewhere between 80 to 83, something like that, man. When was it that they took people's gold, then pumped prices after? So that was in the 1930s, the U.S. wasn't in World War II at that time, but it was like the 1930s, and the U.S. Basically it made private ownership of gold illegal, I believe, and people had to come in and turn in their gold. And it was, and here's the weirdest thing. From when I studied that period, it was like actually a popular decision it was a popular thing from the people of America, like the citizens were in favor of this. They were very much in favor of this. I mean, maybe it was like patriotism, maybe it was just, strong trust in the institutions, something like this, but it was a popular thing. And then a few years later, they repriced gold. So they bought your gold in like 1933, or I don't know if it was exactly that year, but let's just say, for example's sake, it was like 1933. They bought your gold for about 21 bucks an ounce. Then a few years later, they just repriced gold. They just said, okay, well, now your gold is worth 40 bucks an ounce or 45 bucks an ounce. So you just lost like half your purchasing fucking power. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, like, could you imagine that happening right now? That would be unbelievably unpopular. At least I would think so. But yeah. Cedric says, stuck on Intel 2x long, chances for a bounce. Yeah, I mean, maybe don't long things at the top side of the range. No, of course, that's just a fucking dickhead way to say it. Chance for a bounce? No, this is a high right here, man. This thing wants to come down now. You waited, you waited to do your 2x long, maybe like somewhere around here. And yeah, I have to say, man, I don't see it. I'm anticipating more downside here, probably back down to like 39, 40 bucks, maybe a bounce there, but is it going to be the bounce you're looking for? I have my doubts, because this is still maintaining a downtrend here, especially coming into the end of this month. I mean, yeah, it traded above that previous high from 2023, but not closing above there is a significant development. I think you got downside here, not upside. Yeah, always trust the government. Cough, cough. That's right. That's right. Trust the government. It's for your safety. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Dan must have had some propaganda going to make people think it was a good idea to give away your gold. Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Like back in the day, there's really only, 1, 2, maybe 3 news sources, and they're probably all saying the same shit anyways. So, that's really the disagreements that everyone has today. It's just we're just living in alternate realities based off of what news we read. If you read certain news pieces, you're going to believe certain, like ICE is the Nazis and they're the Gestapo. And if you read other news pieces, you think, oh, these people are like fucking rioting violently. And I don't know. At the end of the day, it's very difficult. At the end of the day, use your fucking brain. I think it's very useful when they actually have like videos of these scenarios, because then you can see and decide for yourself. But I do not read articles anymore. I do not listen to fucking, especially mainstream news or anything like that. I want to see it for myself. And if I see what I see, then I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to go with their interpretation of the events. It's just ridiculous. It's lazy thinking is what it is. Most people don't want to think for themselves. They just want to be given it. And it's not even that. They just want to have their own views already validated by some external news source. And so you search out the news pieces that confirm your beliefs. At the end of the day, though, in today's world, there's so much live video of these events. If you really want to see, you can see it and make the decision for yourself. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And for the most part, I just don't want to pay attention. For the most part, as far as I'm concerned, when I look around me, life is fucking great, man. It's beautiful out here. I don't see any fucking ice storm. It's good. It's like, it's not cold. It's very warm. It's very beautiful outside right now. It's all good. It's all good indeed. Have you done lunar daily and weekly? No. Un poquito loco. But we could look at it really quick. What? And there's also tropical bird hour. That's exactly right. Lunar, yeah, selling off into the end of this month. Again, we did expect a pullback right here from testing that prior high. I think you might pull back a little bit more overall, to be honest. Maybe like 16 bucks, 17 bucks. But I'm still holding my position in there, and I'm happy to hold it, especially as long as we're above this month's low, 1574. That's my big one right now. Sequoia says GLTR. GLTR. This one sounds familiar, but I don't recognize the name. And what do you know? It's fucking precious metals going to the moon. I just have the same thing to say here as I do on gold, silver, all the other ones, the individual metals. I think you're in the last throes of this parabolic blow off top. But I'm looking for a very specific price action to call a top first. Until then, just let these things run, because you're in the craziest of crazy times. It doesn't happen very often. Rome 8786 says, Crown, much love. Hey, much love to you as well, sir. Holding pretty much all cash right now. Plan is to go heavy Bitcoin in late summer, fall. Do you have 2 or 3 moderate risk stocks to blast for the next 6 months or so? Just seems everything I like is near all-time highs. It really depends what you're doing, right? So if you're a long-term investor, investing at all-time highs, or at least some amount at all-time highs, is not like the worst decision. You don't obviously invest everything you fucking have, but maybe like 15%, because when things are at all-time highs, that happens during bull marks, and bull marks can go on, longer than we think and shorter than we would like. Generally, 2 or 3 moderate risk stocks. Look, if you're going to ask me that question, I would just tell you what I would be holding. And that's just going to be the boring major indices. I'm still bullish on SPY, still bullish on NASDAQ. So you could look at, VOO or VTI or triple Qs to represent these. I think mid caps are actually going to do pretty well here, probably for the next 6 months. That's going to be RUT, your Russell 2000. But I do think we have to acknowledge that, we are probably at the end, or we're probably nearing a major macro top across most markets this year. It might happen maybe after the first half of this year. But I think we are kind of like getting really near the end of this one. So it's like, are you trying to catch the last gasp, of this market cycle? Because it's going to be obvious when things do turn around. And that's personally what I'd be waiting for if I was sidelined right now. That's technically not the best advice, because you should be allocated on some level if you're a long-term investor, of course. But if I was in your position, and I'm not telling you what to do, but if I was in your position, I would allocate like 15% to just my personal favorite when it comes to major indices, triple Qs, or maybe you want to go with the mid caps because they probably do have more upside right now, something like that, and then just hold that. Be okay if it does come down below your cost basis, but save the majority of your dry powder for when things naturally do come down. But keep in mind, you're going to be waiting a long time, because when the markets top out, it's not like they just go to their lows the next day. That's a process that might take, it could take years. We don't know. It could take, but my point is that it will take some time. So yeah, Chris Fell is looking at RT. Sure. RT, is this it is a stonk. It's an ETF actually. Yeah, pretty good here, making new all-time highs into the end of the month, closing the month out strongly. I'm bullish on this. I think you're going to make significantly new all-time highs, probably, throughout the rest of this quarter, and, for a while, maybe. I think that you'll at least see somewhere around like $60, probably even $69, $70, and if things get really crazy, about $80. So yeah, I wouldn't be anticipating a major, massive top until you're at least like 70. I think you'll probably play off like 60, $61, for a short-term pullback, or maybe one of these other ones right here on these major fibs. But this is seemingly a major breakout, assuming that the monthly finishes above 52.10 which is, decently above right now. So as long as you maintain above there, this thing wants to go higher. Monthly RSI wants to go higher. Quarterly wants to go higher. I think that this thing is very likely in a breakout from here, but that would technically be the pivot. Ty Hit 7596 says, morning, sir. What's up, man? Appreciate your work. All good, man. It's all good, man. Nickel. Okay. Actually don't even know the ticker for that. Could you give me the ticker? Maybe I should spell it right. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should learn how to fucking type. How about that? Not great. If this is truly what you're looking at, but you tell me what the ticker is, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, you're kind of turning the corner here. Maybe get a rally up to like, I don't know, 21. No, that doesn't sound right. 21,000? That can't be right. I'm probably looking at the wrong thing here. Maybe we'll look at the other one that you did ask for, lithium. Is it lit? Yeah, we'll look at the ETF for this one. Yeah, I think you got higher here. I think you probably go up to like $81, but in this zone here between these highs is where I'd be looking for on the next pullback. I'm not necessarily bearish when it gets there. I just think you pull back and you spend some months going sideways and down, and then maybe try your real upside move. But for right now, the majority of this run is done. Maybe go up another, I don't know. Let's see how much this is. Hey, you bastard, don't do that. Maybe like 10, 15%, and then, pull back significantly. Cool. BTR on the daily, he means metal, the metal. Well, can you give me the ticker for it? Because I genuinely don't know it. Commodities are not really actually something that I look at that much, except for when they're doing crazy things like they are right now. So not my wheelhouse generally. Hidden bullish evidence on the last higher low, already made new highs in the rally, so that's good. This week is nearly on a bullish engulfing dildo too. I would say though, I don't know how much I trust this thing, man. It does not trade. Like it really doesn't trade. Like look at this, the daily time frame. You're going multiple days without seeing any real trades here. I'm very hesitant to make an analysis on this just because this thing is extremely illiquid, extremely. All right, last one for D Raider. He's looking at some crypto shitcoin, River Coin. The River Coin actually going up. One of the few cryptos probably going to the moon and beyond. I feel like I'm looking at a gold-based chart here. I mean, look, you probably do find a high relatively soon. You know, probably also reconnect with $50 in the next couple of weeks too. But first higher, I mean, this one objectively is still good as of right now. I wouldn't really be looking for a real correction until you're back down below about $64 on a daily closing basis. Until then, I'd be cautiously optimistic. Just realize that when this thing does turn around, it's going to take no fucking prisoners. So that's why I kind of avoid these things. Like, yeah, it's probably got some more upside. When it turns around, though, it happens so fast. It's very difficult. Yeah. Thinking about shorting, I wouldn't do it exactly right here unless if you're maybe on like a very short-term time frame. You do have some bearish evidence on the 4-hour time frame, so maybe you got to pull back in the short term to like 69 or 68, 69 bucks. But I don't see the obvious top just yet. Like I said, when it happens, it's going to be too fast to really catch for most of these things. Like, you know, you can see this one right here. This is intraday. It came down from like 70 to fucking 30. That's a 56% move. It's happened so quickly. And you do have bearish evidence here. So, you know, short-term correction down to like 65 is certainly likely, I would say. But I don't think that your top is in just yet. I don't see the most obvious signal just yet. I'd be cautiously optimistic, maybe one more new high, then slam it down. But I do agree with you long-term. It will very likely go down. You probably do have an amazing short, but don't try, in my opinion, don't try to be the hero that shorts things before they really do top out, because it's just a great way to lose your account. It's like the same people who long things before, you know, they have any sort of like real bottoming behavior. What's up, Bear Nutrition? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right, back for tie hit, and then last one for Cryptozoli. First for tie hit though, let's make sure we get that one right. Nickel, is it this thing right here, or is it this thing right here? Is it the one on NAS or the one on PSE? I've never heard of PSE actually. Maybe it's this one. You let me know, tie hit. If it is this one, I think that you actually do have a local high in here, and you probably do come down next move to like $19, maybe even like $18, somewhere in this pocket here, and try for a higher low. I actually do think that you do have a high in there. If you're talking about this thing, I think that you have higher to go first, at least $5.50, maybe even all the way up to like 6.25, but higher first before a pullback, something like that, man. Okay, cool. Last one for Cryptozoli. Cryptozoli is looking at VRT. I wonder what that alert is for BBAI. I never got a position in that thing, so I'm curious. I want to go check that to see what. Oh yeah, we looked at this one earlier, man. Looked at this one earlier. Overall, I'm bullish on it. The question to me, it would be how much does it pull back before trying the next upside move? I think you might pull back to like 170 or so. First, let's see. It was BBAI. All right, was this a alert to buy? Oh, whoa! I missed my buy. Jesus, man. Life comes at you fast. Went from $6 all the way to 45 cents today. Great. Amazing. Fucking amazing. Yeah. So this was when I was in my defense technology investing mode. This was one of the ones on my list. I ended up not investing in it. I ended up not taking any position. I believe initially I was looking at a buy at around 350. So if I actually did have an order in there, that would have worked out quite nice. Nearly a 2x in less than an hour, I guess. Oh well, can't guess those things. Might as well play shitcoin roulette if you want to play that game, I suppose. But yeah, missed opportunities. It is what it is. It's not a good game to be playing, at least in my opinion, anyways. SPY futures back up close to $7,000. Nasdaq futures back up to almost 26,000. I think that these things are probably breaking out this week, latest next week, like a real try towards those prior highs. Damn, slight liquidity issue. Yeah, what the fuck happened? It might just be a bad print on TradingView. Very possible. It could be. Let's actually see. What is Russell looking like right now? Short-term top, but long-term continuation. Still most appropriate here. What about Dow Jones Futures YM? There we go. This was also one of the leaders as of recent. Yeah, this one's still making new highs. Still looking pretty good. Yeah, still bullish on this. Still bullish. If it does have a correction, 47,800 is where I'd be looking towards, but I think you're more likely to go up here than you are to go down. That was good. It's good. Traditional markets still want more. Just let it do more. Don't overthink these things. The uptrend is your friend if you just let it be. And that's where we're going to leave things off for today. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for joining in on this nice Monday morning. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. We will be back on with another live stream on Wednesday. And of course, tomorrow will be just another regular uploaded video. So we'll leave things for right now. And yeah, these markets are getting crazy right now. I think that we will start to see some fireworks. I don't know. February, it very well could be February. But I still think we got another couple weeks, you know. But this is the hardest part of these markets. Like, you want to stay allocated until you see the major high, but you're going to feel bad because after you see the major high in the reversal, you're probably going to be like 10 to 15% off that high. And that's when you're going to technically get the signal to sell. And then you're going to feel like, oh shit, well, I missed all of those gains. I feel bad. It's just life, man. But be prepared for that. You know, I've been meditating on that a lot recently. Like, I'm going to have to take profits on a lot of these things probably this year. I mean, very likely this year in traditional markets. Just have to be patient. But yes, we shall end things for today. Like I said, massive pleasure speaking with everyone on this nice little Monday morning. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully